Oh, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Apostate Weekly. I'm your host, James.
And I'm Ryan.
And in this week's episode, we've got some reporting being done about the Jehovah's Witnesses in Japan. And we've got another update on the bombing for you from India as well.
Yeah, sad update there.
Yes, it is. And before we get into all that, let's go ahead and roll that intro and then we'll get into the news. Okay. And I apologize, viewers, if you hear my dogs, they will not shut up this morning. They are driving me up a wall.
They're excited about the news.
They shouldn't
Can
be
you be mad
excited
about
about this
that?
news.
Yeah, to be fair, this is not good. This is not good news, pups.
This is not the news to be excited for.
No.
And these are not the droids you are looking for.
That as well. Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks
Yep.
for joining us. It's good to see you again.
Yes,
Hello,
it is.
hello.
Welcome back, and hope everybody's had a wonderful week so far this week.
Yeah, I hope you had a good weekend. It is a good day for freedom, Steve.
It is. Every day is a good day for freedom. Especially if
dogs are excited for freedom.
No, they're in their crates.
That's exactly why they're excited for freedom. They're like,
Yeah.
One day we're going to get out of this crate.
Yes.
Free me from this crate.
They're the kings of wishful thinking.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started on our first story this morning, shall we?
Shall we? Let's do it.
All righty then. So I got a story here from Japan where 159 have reported being sexually abused as witnesses. Now, the reason why this is significant is because this is starting to gain traction with the government, and they're trying to get the government to look into this more. And it was a survey that was done, first of all, and the respondents for this survey were both mostly non-witnesses, but also witnesses as well. That was confirmed in this. And so with this, they're wanting to not just make the awareness known, okay, but they want to get the government involved. They want action to be taken for these crimes that have been committed against them, because as you can see here, some of it here are 24 cases of sexual abuse, of being touched on the body over clothing or directly, 11 of being viewed or photographed in underwear or naked, and just yeah, it's just insanely gross stuff. And all of these respondents here say when it happened, they were from young children to teenagers. So every one of them underage.
How disgusting. And the other day I saw from the Shepherd the Flock book, Shepherd, what is it called?
Yeah, you got it.
Shepherd the Flock of God or something like that. Yeah, the quote was, if you are caught viewing child pornography, you should be strongly, here I have it. A person involved in viewing child pornography should be strongly counseled.
Yeah.
That's it. That strongly counseled. How bad, you shouldn't have pictures of kitty prawn on your phone. Naughty.
But if you're anybody and you go and watch, corn, and you don't watch straight corn, then you're going to get disfellowshipped if you don't report yourself in enough time.
It's
You
it's
know,
such
they're
baloney.
their way of doing things is just so backwards. It's ridiculous, you
Right.
know. And then
It's
even
yeah, it's
here,
grating and
like right here, there it even says in the article, in addition, 42 respondents said they had been forced to discuss with elders and others about their sexual experience before an official committee hearing. So
that's me.
they're not only being traumatized by whatever perpetrators are doing this to them, they're being re-traumatized by the way these congregations handle these situations.
Right. Right. These are very intimate and personal conversations that should be had with whomever that person feels comfortable with. They shouldn't be forced to have to talk to a group of men in private about
No,
the private parts. It's I'm I'm telling you, like, I really, really would love to do some kind of civil lawsuit against the Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, I am so down for that because I feel like it's invading our privacy, our, personal freedoms. Like, there's gotta be some kind of laws this goes against.
exactly. And as I'm not going to read all this because it's just absolutely disgusting, and I don't think it needs to be read. The link for all these articles are in the description of the videos for anybody who wants to read them. But it gets into pretty graphic detail of what was done to these children. And I have it here on the screen for anybody watching right now, but it's pretty graphic what these sickos were doing to these kids. So, if you can stomach it, take a look
Yeah,
at it. But again, I can't stress enough. This is why we do this show. These things need to be made aware. They need to be public. They need to be stopped. The way that these elders and this organization handles these things needs to be
yeah.
stopped. Their policies need to be changed because they are not helping people. They are harming people way more than they're helping them in any way.
I really feel like hitting them in their pockets, bankrupting them
Yeah.
is gonna be one of our strongest points in contention with them.
And
That's probably the only thing that they'll struggle to recover from. The PR department, they will always have the PR department on lockdown, right? They're always going to find a way to spin everything to make it look as though they're the victims in the situation.
yep.
But if we can just start freaking taking their money, yeah, they could, and they won't call the police. And that
Nope.
should be another reason why we should be able to have some kind of civil lawsuit against them because so many people were quiet and dealt with the repercussions of abuse because this is abuse and never got a lick of help, concern, understanding, nothing. It's
No.
gotta be worth something in the court.
Oh
Gotta
yeah.
be. Yeah, and their charity status needs to be revoked.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. It has been revoked in other countries. So, it should be revoked everywhere because when it comes down to it, they are not a charity. They do not provide
mm-mm.
any services that are
No.
charitable for the community in any way. They don't do food drives. They don't do clothing drives. They don't help homeless people. They don't help anybody but themselves.
Right.
And they tell you, oh, by going out in the ministry and preaching to them and telling them that they can have, this future that we can't promise for real, that, that's our charity that we do. And that's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah, and
Yes,
like,
Jenny.
there's so many points, right? Like, and they need to be mandated reporters.
Yes.
I can't even believe in this day and age that we do not have everybody as mandated reporters.
Yeah.
It, it's a scary situation that the people you entrust most with your child, your priests, your pastors, your youth pastors, and they don't have to freaking report child abuse. It's freaking that is wild, man. That is wild.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, my wife's a teacher. She's a mandated reporter, you know? So if she found out about anything, she has to report it. No matter what religion they are or what background they're from, she has to report it. And that's how it should be. Period.
Yep. Agreed.
So,
Morning, Jay.
wrong one.
There we go.
Nah, I got it straight.
Back to being beautiful. Back to being beautiful. I'm getting a lot of view of your head though. Your ceiling.
My ceiling?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just seeing like your neck, your head.
Oh, here, maybe if I adjust my camera a little bit
Are
more.
you naked? Are you wearing underwear for the show?
Oh, I mean, I'm wearing underwear, but I got pants on over it too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. But I mean,
It's
that
all
was an
good.
awfully personal question there, Ryan.
I apologize.
I mean, do you want to know what
Don't
color
wanna
too?
Well, of course. Good
they're
morning. Good
they're as black as
morning.
my
Yes,
heart.
yes.
Hey, Capitan, how you doing, buddy?
Capitan. Okay, so do you want me to move along to our next
Please
point of
do.
contention this morning? Okay. So, have you heard of the Gilly program?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, I'm just learning about it over the past, I think actually maybe the past 6 months, I've learned about um, what this all is and how it's all tied together to the government of Israel. So the Gilly program um, basically will be this, Cop City is going to be this international kind of training facility that will be used to train police, armies, and not just ours, also other countries. And in actuality, a lot of our police have gone overseas to Israel to learn their maneuvers and their training, which is why we have cops here putting knees on the neck. That's what's been done to the people of Palestine for many years. So you can see how they're doing this brutalizing kind of training that's eventually going to be rolled out here. So what we see happening in Palestine could possibly start happening here. And it looks like our government is really trying to tie all our freedoms up into a little knot and then throw them away. Okay, so more about this program. Let me just scroll a little so y'all can maybe even read just while I'm talking about it, if that's cool. Okay, so obviously there is going to be increased policing and surveillance of not only nearby communities, but all communities, because again, this will be a training facility for all police to learn how to brutalize people even more. Um, of course, there's always bias policing. Like we know that areas where people have less money, etc., specific communities of color and whatnot. Also, we have to take into consideration that while and look, I'm not trying to like shit on police or anything. I'm sure there are people in the comment section or who support the police, who support the military. Like that's your decision. Again, like this is my opinion. This is not necessarily James' opinion. This is how I feel. And not necessarily feel. I'm just trying to give you some facts to think about when it comes to this program and what can happen because of it. I mean, it's a $90 million program that we're spending here, and we have our homeless veterans on the street. Like I gave $10 to a homeless guy when I was in DC the other day, a veteran. Like why is that happening, right? Like this is the kind of thing I just want to bring to people's attention. I'm not telling you how to feel. There'll also be suppression of dissent. So anytime we do want to protest, and the protests are generally peaceful, but it's dissenters and it's the cops who stand on the opposite side and allow people to come in and argue and fight and intentionally try to stir up problems so that way we can't peacefully protest. It's all by design. Not only that, okay, also the environmental issues. This facility that is being built, $90 million police training facility, is in a forest that actually is responsible for a lot of the clean air in Atlanta.
Oh.
So, right. So, I mean, we're talking about the ecosystems that are going to be endangered, the clean water. This is actually also a source of clean water for not only humans, my friends, but the animals. Like, if we start to kill off the clean, because look, you're not going to get away from polluting the land and the water with building this huge facility. I forget how many acres it is, but it's huge, where they'll be pretend combating and fighting each other and rolling out new weapons, like the new weapons that they're using in Palestine. They'll be
Hmm.
using them here to like, these are all like training facilities that will be used so they can sell weapons, because we are a weapons manufacturing company. So this is all just a way for us to be a militarized policing nation, and we as citizens of freedom are really going to suffer. I don't want to keep going. I know we have so many stories to cover. Let me just make sure that I've given you everything that I think is really important about this. Make sure I've done everything that I want to. Okay, I think that's actually pretty good for this one.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
we can move along, but this information is in the link if anybody wants to read more about it. Okay.
Yes. As always, we've been trying to be very good about putting all of our links in the description every week. So I've been putting them in there before the show every week. So every story we have, if you want to jump ahead of the apostate chariot, you can go right ahead and look at the links and be ahead of us. And you don't even got to watch the show. You'll know the stories already.
The
But I hope
apostate chariot moves swiftly.
it does. So
You
try
got
to
to
keep
keep
up
up.
with the apostate chariot.
It's on the move.
And don't you dare get ahead of it now.
No, come on now. Be reasonable.
Okay, so just a quick update on the India story last week. We've been covering this for a couple weeks now. The bombing that happened at the convention. We have another death as a result of this bombing. If you remember, we reported about a 12-year-old girl who was killed during the bombing. Well, her mother was in intensive care and finally passed away herself. So
sad.
so sad to hear that. You know, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I the only thing I really hope is I hope that the mother, at least, and as bad as this might sound, I hope that the mother was in a bad enough condition where she didn't realize that her daughter was passed away. You
Yeah, like,
know, to
no, I know.
spare her that grief at the end of her
Exactly. I know
life.
exactly what you're saying. That would be the more peaceful way to leave this
Yes,
world. Is not
exactly.
having to be aware of what really happened.
Yes,
Oh my God, that breaks my heart. Breaks my
I
freaking
know.
heart. Ugh.
So, and we got another. I don't need to really get into the numbers on this one. Just another story I'm going to hit real quick. This is, um, I don't know where this article's from. I don't recognize the um, outlet, but it was an article I found from Twitter. And it says here there's a drastic decline. Half as many people are baptized as Jehovah's Witnesses. And it was Twitter. It was Larchwood on Twitter, and he actually got the article and translated it, and it went through the numbers on it to show how much of a drastic decline of baptisms there really are happening. So that's good news to hear.
Yeah,
Less people joining a cult is always good news.
dude, honestly, that trend, if we can continue that trend and then again start hitting them with lawsuits, it's only a matter of time.
It
They're
is.
they're not
And
going to be able to continue the way that they're going.
well, the more TV shows that expose the witnesses, which there's has
Mhm.
been a lot in recent years, the more YouTube
A
channels
whole
there
lot.
are of people speaking
Mhm.
up. The protest, that you went to the other week,
Right.
all those things are contributing to the decline of these cults. And,
Mhm.
it's good because we don't want people to be in these harmful groups, having to follow these harmful policies and having their every bit of their lives controlled by these groups. We want them to have their freedom, think for yourself. If you want to be a believer in something, please do. Go right ahead. Enjoy if it brings you comfort. But please don't do it because you're coerced into doing it by these groups. And that's where I have a big problem with it, is all the coercion and manipulation that goes into it.
100%. Right. Like, I'm fine with people having their religion. I will never try to take people's religion away. But religious ideologies that are harmful and dogmatic
Yes.
and like crap rhetoric, yeah, you can't say nothing to me when you are spewing hateful ideologies and I retort you.
Yeah.
What can you really say about that?
Oh, it's
Nothing.
persecution. You're
No,
persecuting me because you're retorting me.
it's called critical thinking. It's called constructive criticism.
Yeah, but that's what
That's
they
it.
call first
No,
first
right,
thing.
exactly.
Oh, it's
That's what they'll
persecution.
say, but it's like, no, it's not persecution. Do you call persecution if your coworker says, "Hey, can you sign this document?" Persecution, you're making me do work? What? Like, stop.
Or your boss comes up and criticizes your work in a way, say, hey, not in a mean way, even, hey, you missed this or you missed that. Could you just go please fix it? Oh, you're
What?
persecuting me.
What?
Oh,
What did I miss?
ah.
Ay, ay, ay. But that's exactly how people are acting. And it's just like the indignation is super frustrating. Just look in the mirror, take a second, reflect, breathe. Is this true? And then move on with your day. Just
Yes.
like that.
Go start looking at the
Words,
man in
words
the
to live
mirror.
by. Would you
A-
say?
I said, go start looking at the man in the mirror. Ask him to make a little change.
Right. I'm asking you to change your ways.
That's right.
No mustache is gonna mend any cover though. I'm telling you what, like this mustache, it's not gonna be able to cover up who I am. If you want to make the world a better place, you gotta look at yourself and make that change. Okay. Do you want me to move on to the next story?
Yes, Miss Jackson, please do.
It's Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. All right. So the next one I wanted to talk about, everybody I'm sure has heard about the Restrict Act. And most people
Oh,
are
yes.
focused on it because I think it's just like, oh, the banning of TikTok. But the fact of the matter is, it would not be just the banning of TikTok. This would be access to our data, right? Like we're just talking about Cop City. Now, just imagine one of these officers has a bright idea. He wants to know what you're posting. He wants to see what you're like. There's so many ways that this could go very scary for us because it's going to significantly expand the powers of the executive branch, and I think they're even trying to stifle some other people's abilities to even fight back against it. And legislation could impose civil and criminal penalties for violating bans. So, say they ban TikTok or say they ban another app and you use a VPN. You could even get in trouble for using a VPN. And you certainly could get in trouble if they found out that you used a VPN to download an app that they said was outlawed. Like, who,
So
like,
you know what this sounds
what the
like?
hell? Yeah,
So
what?
have you been hearing about our new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson?
Oh, fuck me. Yeah.
So he uses an app called Covenant Eyes.
Mhm.
And what that app is, it's basically an app that you can use to monitor what other people do on their phones or computers. And then it sends a report to whoever their
Right.
what are they their sponsor is, like an AA almost, you know. So you and
Mhm.
Mike Johnson, he has his son as his sponsor on his Covenant Eyes, and of course, you know, he was quoted as saying that, you know, if you want to know what my worldview is, go look at the Bible. That's my worldview. So that's the kind of person we're dealing with here in Mike Johnson. Now, that right there tells you he would probably be willing to not just only ban like TikTok or whatever, but also to use software like that, whether it's Covenant Eyes or from the government in some way, to monitor and spy on other people and impose their will, their,
Right.
you know, lack of morals on everybody else, and, you know, prosecute you and want to throw you in prison or whatever for their beliefs.
Mhm. Exactly.
That's
And
exactly what this story is sounding like right here that you've been reading.
yeah, and who's to say that that couldn't happen? Who's to say that they couldn't impose that? Like you have to you buy an iPhone and automatically this software I I mean, I'm not I wish I was more read on our laws and things of that nature. But this information is at least readily available. So we should be making sure that I mean, I don't know about y'all, but my elections is coming up next year for my local elections, house, state, etc., etc. So I'm going to make sure I find out where they stand with bills like this because it is terrifying, like where it could go and the impact that it could have on our freedom. And not just that, you guys, like think about all the people who make money from TikTok and stuff like that. Right? Like, could you imagine if your income solely comes through one of these apps and somebody just says, app no longer? And I mean, just the financial repercussions
Oh,
along with the
absolutely.
social repercussions could be super detrimental to all of us.
I mean,
So,
just look at you. You've got over 100,000 followers on TikTok. You know,
right.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you could probably easily get that to go a lot higher. And if you wanted to make money off of it, I'm sure you could
Oh
easily.
yeah, I definitely could make money off of but I choose not to because I want people to know that the information I'm giving them is it because it's tainted by my desire for a dollar. Everything that I want people to know is because I have experience in a call that ruins people's lives and I care about them and it's genuine. And that does not mean at all that anybody who makes money from their education to people is bad. I'm just simply telling you where I am right now. Does not mean that it will change, but right now that's where I am. I want people to trust what I'm saying is because it's genuine.
Yes, everybody, come watch Ryan's TikTok free.
Yeah, come get it for free. I don't know how long it'll be free. It's free 99.
Free 99.
It's free 99.
Free 99.
Um, but no, really, genuinely, guys, I hope that you do look into this and don't take it for granted that there's a possibility we could have our government telling us what we can do with our communications. Like that's some utter bullshit. And the fact that there's likelihood that they could take a look at my phone simply because they think I have TikTok or another banned app on my phone. I don't like that.
Well,
I don't like it.
I'm gonna have to find some kind of app that whenever they're sneaking in on my phone, if they start doing that, that they first thing they see is a big middle finger right at them.
Right, like you see this exactly.
Yes, exactly, because
Definitely that.
that just won't fly with me either. But let's see here. Okay, did you have any more stories you wanted to
No,
cover?
I believe that is I think that's everything and just as long as we make sure we give our information about the holiday before we end.
Yeah,
That's all I
that's why
have.
I wanted to get to it because I had some other
Okay.
announcements I wanted to get
Oh,
to.
actually, Can I just say something really quickly? Um, Obviously, because of what's happening in Palestine or whatever, there's a huge rise of anti-Semitism, and I don't get down with that either. Obviously I'm angry and I don't like the government infringing on my rights and shit like that. So I get heated. But one thing that also heats me up is like throwing innocent people under the bus ever, like ever. So like if you see anti-Semitism, please fight that. I'm seeing a huge rise in Islamophobia.
Yep.
I don't know what you call it when it's anti-Arab. Do you just say anti-Arab? Because not
I
all
guess
Arabs are. I'm Arab and I'm not a Muslim. So what it like? I don't know what you call that. But I guess you just call it
Arab
racism. I don't
Arab
know.
phobia.
Arab, right? So I've seen a huge rise in that. So please combat it or report it, what have you, because innocent people are innocent people and they don't deserve to be thrown under the bus because oligarchic megalomaniac weirdo is running the show over there, right?
Yeah,
Like
totally
70%,
agree.
70%, from what I've read, 70% of Israelis don't even want Netanyahu in government. So that's how bad their democracy is right now. They like to call it a democracy, but they don't even have LGBTQIA rights over there. Like they can't marry. So it's like it's all a lie. It's all a lie. So just remember there are also innocent Jewish people who are getting thrown on the under the bus. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Sounds like a dictocracy, a dictator
Yeah.
trying to
And
make
that's
it
what
a
we're dealing
democracy.
with over here. Like
Yeah.
literally what we see happening over there is what's going to eventually happen to us. What they're testing out on the Palestinians and blowing up freaking hospitals and murdering people, targeting people on purpose. Like
Hmm.
if on the world scene that dude can get away with that, right? He's getting
Yeah.
away with it. Nobody's stopping him.
Yep.
What will happen to us here when our
Yeah.
government wants to do the same to us and build a $90 million training facility on how to beat the shit out of us with new weapons? They've already used gas in the streets. They already hit us with batons, rubber bullets, knocking people's eyes out. They shoot people. Like, now what? It
Oh
will
yeah.
happen here. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an alarmist either. I'm sorry. That probably sounds like I'm
Well,
doomsaying, but
well,
I think it's reality.
I will give you a smidgen of hope, though. If you have been keeping
Yes.
an eye on the national elections going on between the states and everything, like my
Yeah.
state, Virginia, here, the Democrats won the House and the Senate in our state. So,
That is good news.
I know in other states too that because currently we have a Republican. Um, oh, come on, brain! I can't think of the word.
Speaker?
Governor,
Governor.
governor,
Oh,
Republican
okay.
governor. And so with Democrats winning the House and the Senate, that means all the stuff will be more swayed that way. So generally, it's a little bit better. I'm not saying one's much better than the other by any means because they all have their own agendas in one way or the other. But generally speaking, right now, the Democrats are on the side of LGBTQ and women's rights and things like that. So hopefully we can continue that trend and push that
That's good
forward through
news.
the presidential election next year and keep that going and keep these conservative nutbags out of our presidency, and hopefully that trickles down through the states as well, because
Yeah, I do hope so.
because our daughters futures are depending on it. And speaking as a father of
Mhm.
a daughter, i
Right.
I vote for her future and the future of
And
every daughter out there.
exactly. And our everybody, just everybody is possibly in danger. And I'm not going to make it too political, but like I've seen the Democrats' hand too. Like I'm so pissed off with my leaders. I call them the only one there's only one that answers. The other ones I've not heard. Actually, I got an email from one of them finally, but it's so infuriating that we have such a huge thing happening unraveling in front of our eyes, and these MFers can't even stand up and speak to us. That's some bullish.
Smashing the patriarchy. If you live anywhere near Chesapeake, hit me up and let's meet up sometime.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So
Um, I would say that it's not actually a religious war. What it is a colonist war. We have settlers who are trying to kick the indigenous people out of their land. So they're using religion as a cover because, again, we can go, don't hate me, you're persecuting me, right? So they're using religion as a cover. But to be fair, people lived in Palestine for a long, long time, Christians, Muslims, Jews, for a very long time. And it wasn't until 1948 Nakba, when they were kicked, 750,000 people were kicked out of their homes and thousands died and continue to die. So it's really a colonist war against the indigenous people, using religion as a guise so they can protect themselves and say, you're just being mean to me because I want to steal land. But I was here 1,000 years ago. You're being mean.
And Smashing, that's about, I'd say about 2.5, 3 hours away from where I live. So, and I do go to DC every so once in a while. So still find me on Facebook or whatever. And we could still probably meet up one day when we pass through. Anyways,
that would be awesome. I mean, if y'all ever meet up in like Virginia, that's not super far for me. I possibly could do that if y'all wanted to do some kind of like large meetup. Anyway,
that would be awesome. Anyways, let's get to some announcements here because we got to wrap this show up. Please, first of all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this, and let's get it out to the YouTube algorithms out there, people. So thank you very much for that. We want to announce our schedule coming up for the show for the holiday season. Okay. We discussed it. We're going to still do our show all the way through. Our last show of the year is going to be December 20th. So mark that on your calendars, December 20th. And then we're going to take a 3-week break after that. We're going to have a break for Christmas so we can go be with our families and, just relax and enjoy. And I get some time off as well. So please mark that on your calendars. Also, on the 20th, our last show of the year, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do, but we are not doing a news show. That's all I'm going to say. So we wanted to do a special show, and because all the news all year long, this can just get so depressing sometimes. These stories are hard to go through. They're just, and they're a lot of times it's the same kind of stuff over and over again. And we're going to take a break from doing news stories that week. But I guarantee you are going to want to show up for that show. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody to show up for that show because it's going to be a fun show. I promise you that.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing, but
we have an idea. We've talked about it.
I have no idea what I'm doing though, but
that's every week though. What else is new?
True. Can't deny. That's right.
No, I am not going to perform Christmas songs, Ken. You do not want to hear me sing. I do not want to lose subscribers.
Nah. Little pickle pie. You come here to say hi.
So that is our announcements for that. Also,
such a beautiful baby.
We have I put in the description for the show, our Discord server. So for those of you who haven't joined our Discord, please join us. Those links aren't good for very long. So that's why we got to put them in every week. So if you missed it this week, and you might have like a week or two, I think. I
actually have no idea how long the link lasts.
But the reason for that is it prevents like a whole bunch of like scam bots, ruffians, trolls coming in. That's why we have to renew the link all the time. So that's why we put a fresh link in every week for everybody. So if you haven't joined that, please do that. Also, if you feel it in your hearts, please go to buymeacoffee.com/apostateweekly, and you can get us a coffee and we'll shout your name out on the show, and send you a special message of thanks for your support. And even if you don't do it, we still appreciate everybody's support anyways. And we always love seeing you guys in the comments and seeing you here every week. We have a great time. We love you guys. And we love Pickles.
Because he's my baby. Huh, Pick.
And despite them barking all show, I still love my dogs.
They were keeping us entertained. It's okay.
Yes. The dogs are barking
really
at the
on
Jehovah's
one
Witnesses.
today, though.
I know.
I've never heard them so on one.
That's right, Steve. Chase them away.
Keeping them away.
Sick them, boys.
Our
Sick them.
dogs.
Get them. A pasta dog. That's right, Ken.
Are you
pasta
persecuting me? Are you persecuting people?
dog. Yes. The Jehovah's Witnesses. Anyways, look at the tree. Says, my dog hears your dogs.
It's going to be a echo chamber of just dogs.
I know, right?
Feedback loop of dogs.
So with that being said, did you have anything you wanted to add, Ryan?
No, that's all that I have. And just remember, you don't have to agree with everything that I say. You just be respectful when you make your comments about it. And we're cool.
You do have to agree with everything I say. So there's that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like him, but me, like it's cool. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go like psycho if you don't. Okay, just completely psycho.
You're gonna go Darvo. You're just gonna start flipping it all around.
I might have to do like some Pink Floyd type music with the psychedelics and stuff.
Yes, rock it out.
So I can become comfortably numb from all the butt hurt I get.
Psychedelic apostate.
Anyways, so thank you everybody for joining us this week. Please, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we will see you all next week. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week.
That's right. Have a great one. We'll see you soon, y'all.
And also, as always, apostate your way.
Listen, obey, and be blessed. Because I said so.